Hey there, welcome back guys. This video special thanks to Barbara from Ravemen for sending us the NT301 dash cam light for the back of your bicycle. Your rear end will be covered and well lit up. So without any further, and it's 80 lumens. So without any further ado, let's get started to set it up, see how it works, some features that will work out just right for you when riding in the middle of the night or during the day, because you never know when that incident may occur. So knowing that, moving forward, here we are here. This is everything it comes with. I already have it unboxed for this part of the video. So you can see it does not work with the Garmin quarter mounter, because as you can see here on the rear, because it has its own proprietary connection, so it just won't work. Too bad you can't. You might be able to pull these out. I've replaced these before, but never been able to find a third-party one like that one. If there is, let us know. It does come with a tether, which is great because you want that, especially when you're going to get a cup of coffee or a burger, something to eat, which as you can see, this just goes in like that, or you could probably put it in from the rear, right? And then up and over, nip, tuck, and roll. Make sure that's bent, like going down. And we should be able to push it in so that it comes out like that. See that? Just point it in a position that it's curved. If it's curved, put it in that way. And then we can push this in like that. And then now, the hardest part is just getting that over. See, voila. Now I can go get a cup of coffee, a sandwich, and not have to worry about someone ripping it off my bike. It has USB to USB-C charging. It does come with a mount for your bicycle because it's proprietary. Little rubber band thingy. Wow. Alexa, turn off camera lights. This way the lighting works out here. Comes with a little card. Comes with instructions. It does come with something else that just fell. We make these videos so you don't have to, like a mini cheat sheet on how to connect it to your phone, which is what I will show you how to do. There's a link in the description to the app, but it does work with other third-party applications. So if you're not happy with the app that Ravemen designates for you, find another one and you just add it the way I'll show you in a bit. Has the Allen key. It does have the mount for the rear part of your bicycle. As you can see here, this would go in, that's a screw, right? And then this would go like that. Just got to find that sweet spot to make the magic happen. So just pull these out a little bit. See that? And then this goes in between like that. And then you take the screw, screw it in, and then of course this part goes in last because you want to put this on the back of your seat, right? If you're going to put it on your seat. I have a bag on the back of my bicycle, so this would not be ideal for me, but if you don't, if you're one of those people that keep everything in their pouch in the back, then that will work out that way. So they actually thought of every version of the cyclist. And again, doesn't work with that one. It's a different mount, but if you can find a replacement for that, that would be great. It has the auto start, which is really cool. I'll show you that feature in a second. So to connect it to your phone, you want to make sure your phone is on. Okay, and of course hasn't fallen asleep. And I'm just gonna do a little sync thing over here so that we can see what's here and then match everything with audio and picture later. All right, I'm just gonna do this camera and do 1, 2, 3, and now we're in sync. You're gonna go into your settings, right? Turn on your Wi-Fi. So you got my Wi-Fi right here, and that's my Verizon Wi-Fi settings. But if you go into the app that you download, right? If we go to cam, right there, it's road cam. Again, other applications work. If you have one, find it. See, it says my Verizon network, and you want that to say DVR. Okay, a little nice Allen key it comes with. Remember, it comes with 3 screws and a little card. So we're gonna, the top button's the power button, and the bottom button is the mode for the lights. So I'll run through the modes of the lights so you can see. Holding down the power button so it turns on. See, it's on, and then I can cycle through them. You have 1 flashing, and then another rapid flash, and then pulsating, And then I guess we're back to start again of some sort. See, and then a little bit lower. And then I like this one. This is my favorite one, the rapid flash. And then you have here, this one's okay, but I like the other one where it just flashes, sort of wakes you up. And then you have there and there. So I'm not sure if we can do it from here, but I'm going to shut this off. The bottom button right there. Hold it down until the light shuts off. See the light shut off. And we should be able to tap the top button 2 times to activate the Wi-Fi. Tapping it. And so I should be able to go to my phone. See, now that's solid. And I should be able to see in a bit the DVR appear, sort of. But that's solid, and that's a good sign. That means that the Wi-Fi is on, because as you can see, we're in Wi-Fi, not Bluetooth, okay? Knowing that moving forward, let me put this over here and just wait for it. I'm at 22%, so I can disconnect this, which is great. It does have a built-in SD card. We're just waiting for that. Oh, there's our DVR, but I'll show you 16 gigs, I believe, by default, which is okay. It's a good starter until you can, go to CVS or Best Buy and get a bigger card. See, 16 gigs. They thought of that. And now you are good to go. And it just goes right in, and that's how you charge it. There is a little cheat sheet. Oh, let me just connect the DVR. So we'll just do right here, connect DVR, and we're connected. And then now, wait for it to give you that check mark. When I go into the app, I should see DVR and not my Wi-Fi connection. And then when I connect to it, it should have a real time. See, there it is. Yay. And there I am. Really nice. It's 2K, which is actually better than the Garmin. And these are the little cheat sheet right here. You have photography. You can take photos. 2K, smartphone connectivity, which is what we just did. Automatic loop recording. It just keep looping, but it will categorize things according to emergency and other incident detection. Brake sensor, auto on and off, which is great. Water resistance. And then we have charging, USB, and then 130-hour maximum runtime. You decide what setting, and what I wanted to say was about the cheat sheet. It's right here. On high, 25 lumens is the brightness, and runtime is 7 hours with camera on and 16 hours with camera off, but you want to cover your butt, right? And to keep that camera on all the time. So ideally for me, I do rapid flash. It's funny, John from cycling, one of our neighbors, I told him that I can't go riding with him unless he wears a helmet. Rule of the game, always wear a helmet. So I would probably do rapid flash, and the luminance brightness is at its max. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The fourth one. Then you have breathing, which was like that pulsing. And number of lumens is 2, which is really weird. Oh, because it's pulsing, right? And then you get 12 hours. I'm not a big fan of the pulse, and recorded off is 13 hours, but you want to leave everything on. So let's set it so that we can have it turn on and off automatically. So what you want to do is, so we're connected via Wi-Fi, but it should connect again. We're going to shut this off. Okay, hold down the power. Remember, we shut off the light, so it's still on. It's off. You want to hold down the second button, okay? So that's on with the light off. So we're going to turn it off, okay? Turn it on, turn it off. All right, so to activate that feature, see this button right here, the second button? Hold this down, the second button, until the light turns on itself. It's a little confusing. I'm like, wait, how's the light going to turn on without the power? Trust me, been there, done that. I just did that a second ago. So again, second button until the light turns on and starts flashing. See, it went on, and now it's going to flash. Okay, wait for it. Wait for it. That's still on. It should have flashed already. Okay, so if that doesn't work, again, shut it off. It's not as fluid as you think it is. Turn it off. Okay, just shut off the light. All right, lights off, right? Second button right there. Second button. Hold down the second button until it turns on and starts to flash. See, it will start flashing, and then now it stops. Now I can leave it for 2 minutes like that, And once it shuts off, it'll activate itself again. And you want that because you want to just grab your bike and not worry about anything. Let's have the magic happen. Except for when an auto turns on, you won't be able to get into it until you do the other steps, but that's fine because we've already seen what it looks like in there, so we won't be using the on-off button, but except we'll be saying, Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes. Just want someone to listen to me. Alexa, set the timer for 2 minutes.
2-minute timer started.
Great. So wait 2 minutes. This will be a hyperlapse. We'll leave this like this. Oh man, I touched it. Once you touch it, it resets to 2 minutes. So it might be 2 minutes and 5 seconds. But we'll just do a hyperlapse of everything. But as you can see here, we got our cheat sheet. We got people accessing the garage, which would have been Amazon. But I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can see where you can actually get this, because this is phenomenal. Can't go wrong with 80 lumens. And again, those features work out just right for you. But I'm going to leave it in rapid flash. You can put it like right now, when I pick it up and it turns off, it's going to remember the last settings. So for example, it is at the high. When it shuts off and I pick up my bike, it's going to be on high. So just make sure you have it in the settings that you want so that when you pick it up, it's in your favorite mode. And you don't have to like do that every time. Just once you set it and forget it. And the impact resistance, so it's IPX6, if that means anything to you guys, but to me, it just says water resistance, and that's good enough for me. It has a little, we saw that little water seal that went around it. When you pull out the SD card, you got to lift that, so you're pretty much covered in that area. And remember, it's a smart camera bicycle tail light. They do make one for the front too, but this is just phenomenal. And so we'll just wait for that thing to work its magic. You have to be careful because slightest moves, like sometimes I go into my garage, open the door, and when the door slams, like the wind and the vibrations in the walls cause the bikes on the rack to vibrate, and then the lights turn on or off on their own, because it'll shut off on its own. Knowing that, moving forward, phone fell asleep. Alexa, stop. Hopefully it'll be at 2 minutes and 5 seconds since we started the timer a little bit later. Let's see what we got. And again, I moved, so we have to wait. Alexa, set the timer. See, it went off. I was about to, never mind, Alexa. I was about to reset it. So, it's exactly 2 minutes, maybe 2 and 5 because of the experience here. But let's see if you shake the table. It's probably because it's on the rubber here.
No problem, Lewis.
No, I wasn't talking to you. Goodbye. All right, so that's it for there. Let's take this thing outside, see how it goes, and check it out. So come. All right, so we're back outside. Awesome. The weather is amazing. Cycling season has officially begun for some people. We have our light set to activate as soon as we touch it. So as you can see, it started flashing. I have it set in my favorite mode. You decide what mode is right for you, but it's a really easy installation. You could connect it to your phone so you can adjust it and view it so that you can make sure the positioning is just right for you. But for us, there's only one option behind us because we only have one space to keep the additional light. So come, I'll show you. So we have here the Ravemen radar. As you can see, really easy to remove. Thankfully, it's a similar setup to the one we're about to do right now. As you can see here, we're just gonna disconnect this one and then put that one on. So as you can see, positioning is going to have to be ideal, but the camera is higher. So as you can see, it'll just work out really well. And to remove it, you just simply unfasten it. So we'll put this one on, probably keep this one on. I have all my lights set to auto start, so we'll keep that there. Again, this one can go on like this. We'll probably put it on last so that we can position the connector. So for me, I'm gonna put it similar to the other one, and then we'll just pull it all the way around as tight as you can. Don't want to break it, but as you can see, probably higher in my case. And then now, voila. Could go a little bit higher, but we're just gonna leave it like that. Put this like that. And as you can see, voila. And see, And again, I probably could go a little bit higher instead of lower. So I'll put it as high as it can go and then pull it so that everything works out. Move the tether away. Remember, it's always going to be recording. And as you can see, everything working out just right. See, and it's right down there. That's just the radar cam, but we'll have double. But as you can see, this one's going to work out really well. It's really on there. And if you're not sure about the positioning, you can log into your phone and check out the connection, and make some adjustments accordingly. But for me, that's as high as it's going to go since it's right there at the top. And that's pretty much it. Kind of neat, huh? We'll probably do a follow-up video to see how it works out in traffic, but so far so good. It's the Ravemen NT301. You'll find a link to it in the description down below. Fits on my bicycle really nicely and will fit on yours too. And remember, that has that incident detection so that if it does detect an incident, it'll go into that emergency area and not override the footage and keep things as needed where they need to be. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Hope that this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time.